welcome to this week's Thursday 3 from Loaf training. And this week we've put together something specifically for managers who operate in customer service. So this is the time of the year when managers are really focused on planning for the next 12 months. This involves managers focusing on setting new objectives and looking at development plans for the year ahead. So we're going to share with you 3 tips that will help support you with that. So one of the first things that we certainly advise is to chunk down the year. There's no point in focusing on the next 12 months. The best thing to focus on is the next 90 days. So why is it important to break things down then into manageable amounts? Well, there's a great story about some farmers, and what they used to do is, before they used to farm the fields, they used to get a stick and throw it as hard as they could, and then say to the guys and girls, right guys, let's pick to the stick. They'd break it down into manageable chunks. It's important to consider how you break down the year into 90-day manageable chunks. What is it that drives the results that we get? Well, it's the behaviours that show up. And so it's important to consider, what are some of the key behaviours that I want my people to demonstrate more of? If they demonstrate those behaviours, then the results will naturally follow. And whenever you're setting someone some objectives, it's important that you make them specific and measurable. If they're not specific and measurable, then you don't know if you've been successful with them or not. Not only is it important to make sure they're specific and measurable, but it's also important that over this 90-day period, there's a maximum of just 3 objectives to focus on. Any more than that, and things just don't get done. So, what are the 3 tips in this video? Well, tip number 1, remember to break things down into manageable chunks. Picture the stick and think about your 90-day plans. Tip number 2, when it comes to setting objectives, you've got to make sure these are specific and measurable. And then tip number 3, when it comes to the number of objectives that you have in this 90-day plan, it's important that you have no more than 3. Any more than 3 and they just simply won't get done. So give people 3 to focus on.